Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another video for The Division. Now, if you didn't catch last week's video, then I spoke in more detail about loot, items and rarity. So if you haven't seen that, then I'll link it down below. But in today's video, I want to talk a bit more about The Division's story. If you do enjoy this video, it'd be mega awesome if you could hit that like button and leave a comment down below. Now, about that story. So right now, we know that The Division is set in Manhattan, in the wake of a devastating virus that spread on Black Friday. The city is in chaos, the military have pulled out, and we are the ones tasked with getting to the bottom of all of this. But the question is, just where did the virus come from, and how did it spread so fast? Well, the answer to where it came from we obviously won't know until the game comes out. After all, that's one of the main cruxes of the story. But we do have a bit more insight into how it spread. See, while at E3, The Division was playable, and for playing it, you got this awesome snow globe, which came wrapped in a sheet of newspaper. But the newspaper wasn't some sort of strange, lazy wrapping, it was actually the front page of a Division newspaper from the New York news media. And it has a couple of extracts that give a bit more background into what's actually been going on, so I thought I'd read those to you and shed some more light. First up, we have the extract that reads, "Poisoned money fears arise. Rumours of biological attack unconfirmed by US government." On Friday, November 28th, the holiday after Thanksgiving known as Black Friday, Americans spent an estimated $90 billion this year in a single day of shopping. But they might have bought more than they bargained for. Recent reports suggest the dangerous pandemic currently striking the city was spread on poisoned paper money, passing through countless hands during the holiday. For days, the city has been literally plagued by a virus. Yesterday's figures from the mayor's office estimate 48% of the population is currently affected, and the death toll is rising at an alarming rate. Now, a government memo, reportedly from Syria, has identified traces of the virus on newly printed $100 bills. First distributed online, the memo theorises these bills were purposefully infected and put into circulation on Black Friday as part of a terrorist action. No group nor individual has currently come forward to claim responsibility for what the memo strongly suggests is the largest biological attack ever to take place on US soil. Government officials denied the knowledge of the memo, and Syria spokesperson Rachel Rawls dismissed the documents as a quote-unquote complete fabrication in a press conference yesterday about the state of the pandemic. But preparedness experts have deemed the memo's provenance convincing. Warren Merchant, author of the book New York Collapse: A Survival Guide to Urban Catastrophe, said in an interview with New York news media, a coordinated attack would explain how the virus has spread so quickly and thoroughly throughout the city. A pathogen with such a high mortality rate would normally burn itself out before affecting such a large swathe of the population. New York news media has been unable to confirm the source of the memo, distributed online in PDF format. But digital forensic expert Lauren Warman verified that it hasn't been altered electronically. Quote unquote, "It appears to be a scan of a paper memo. The redacted portions look like they were done on hand on paper before scanning, and since its original transmittal, the file hasn't been touched." And that is where the extract ends. As is always the way on newspapers, it then says the story continues on page A7, which unfortunately I don't have. But from that we can see, at least from the rumours, that the virus was spread via $100 bills on Black Friday in an attempt to try and affect as many people as possible. There are a couple of names dropped there as well, so they could well be characters that we encounter during the story. There is, however, one more extract I do want to talk about, and this refers to military action. The title reads, "Top Army Colonel Makes Landfall." Recalled early from a tour in Afghanistan, US Army Colonel Charles Bliss arrived in Manhattan late Thursday to direct disaster relief efforts. The move is part of the federal government's response to the escalating crisis and unprecedented lockdown of Manhattan, as President Waller has ordered US Army resources to assist in containing the outbreak in New York. Officials tacitly confirmed these moves are also a response to growing unrest in the city. Addressing the press in a briefing late Thursday, Colonel Bliss stated, "We are bringing the full force of the US military to bear on this situation. We will not allow Manhattan to enter a downward spiral of looting, chaos and fear. We will ensure order through any means at our disposal. Under my watch, this city will not fall." This weekend, a division of the US Army, reporting directly to the Colonel, will establish a base of operations along the East River near the Queens Midtown Tunnel. Colonel Bliss did not respond to the questions about the imposition of martial law, but he said in a separate statement about combating the outbreak that all options are on the table. The majority of the foreign diplomats at the United Nations were evacuated before the quarantine, raising questions on when the lockdown was first anticipated by city, state and federal authorities. If anyone was given advance warning, City Councilman John Eldon said in an interview with New York news media, that raises serious concerns about the effectiveness and fairness of this quarantine. How can they selectively contain a pandemic? And again, that is where the extract ends. That one continues on page A3, which again, I don't have. So, once again, from within those extracts, we got a couple of names. And while we do know from the Dark Zone story trailer that the military did pull out, and hence that's why there's a lot of military equipment left in the Dark Zones, and hence where you find your best legendary items, it's also clear that there is still going to be a military presence. And the fact that they are willing to use any means necessary could well mean that at some point during the story, we could have a run-in with them. I know that we are supposed to be on the same side, but you've seen TV shows before and you've seen films before where the military decides to take over, and they take things a little bit too drastically. So again, I'm sure Colonel Bliss will be someone we'll encounter throughout the story. And that, my friends, is pretty much it for this video. There's a few more things on this newspaper that I will be sifting through and work out whether there's anything worth talking about, but for the time being, that is it. If you did enjoy this video, then it'd be awesome if you could leave a comment down below and hit that like button, and obviously stay tuned for more Division videos. Gamescom is also a couple of weeks away, so hopefully we'll be getting some more information very soon. Or maybe the second page of the newspaper. Thanks again for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.